morning. With me today is Arne van Wijdeven, Global Customer Experience at Philips headquarters. Good morning.
Good morning.
Arne, maybe the first question I'll ask you, what is customer experience and why should we as marketeers care about it?
For us, customer experience is everything around our products and services that we deliver. Delivering fantastic products in a good price and with a good service is not enough anymore. What we really want to focus on is to making sure that we deliver the brand promise of sense and simplicity through all the experiences that people have with our products, our services and our people in the B2B area as well as in the B2C area. We try to do a fantastic job in delivering such an experience, and we make sure that we do a superior job in delivering such an experience to our customers.
And so actually what you're saying for Philips customers, because your slogan is sense and simplicity.
Yep. So
the experience that they should feel with using your products is the sense and simplicity that you promise them.
Exactly. That's the brand promise. And our customer experience drive needs to deliver that brand promise to everybody on all the touch points that they have with us, being it in a personal relationship or via product or via service or in any other touch point that we might have.
Interesting. And how strategic is customer experience? How strategic is your department positioned within the total picture within Philips?
Very good question. At the beginning of the Customer Experience program in 2006, our board of management decided the only way to really get this high enough in our organization, with a high enough attention for it in our organization, is to make sure that we have a good key performance indicator attached to it and that we track that on a global scale. So what they made sure is that customer experience is measured via Net Promoter Score and is one of the 6 key performance indicators of our board of management and one of the few key performance indicators that is part of the bonus of our top management as well as almost everybody in our organization.
Okay, so it's actually linked directly to the performance of management in the organization.
Yeah, the number is, absolutely.
And you said that you're using actually Net Promoter Score?
Yep.
As a way to measure customer experience. Can you give us some background into that? How do you do that?
Yeah, good question again. What we did in our organization before 2006 is a lot of satisfaction surveys. And we have found ourselves in measuring that satisfaction but not seeing a lot of change. We saw high scores 8 and above on a scale of 0 to 10. And we did not see any big changes based on the actions that we did. Then, when we learned from the research of Fred Reichelt of Bain & Company, we saw that there is a much better metric that actually describes what the future customer experience will look like. What the future, let's say, will look like for an organization if your customers will stay with you or if they will likely to be going off.
The Net Promoter Score, as I know it, maybe I have my perception is wrong, but my knowledge of NPS is basically how willing your customers to promote your product or recommend the products to their friends or family, which is very important today because word of mouth is one of the most important ways to promote. We're talking about super promoters and all those kind of concepts. Is there any way, any additional measurements with NPS besides this one question?
Yeah, for us what we do indeed is to measure the likelihood of recommendation, which is in fact forward-looking, where satisfaction surveys are backward-looking. How well did the product or the service deliver on what you expected? And now it's really asking people, would you give your heart and soul on actually promoting this brand, recommending it to other people? What we always do is ask that singular question based on your experience with Philips products, services or relationship. How likely are you to recommend on a scale of 0 to 10? And then the why question. It's nice to have a number. It's even more important if you understand why people would or would not recommend you, your brand, to a friend, a colleague or somebody else in the world.
Okay, interesting. And is this method linked in any way or form to the revenues growth within Philips?
The theory of Fred Reichelt always says if you have a higher Net Promoter Score, then you will see higher revenues. Why? Well, simply, if you have more promoters than you do detractors, then you have more people that recommend your brand, that buy your product, and that will get new customers for you. A promoter creates a promoter is the theory. We have been looking into our data sets, our large data sets, and I'm very happy to tell you that indeed we see what the theory also has predicted. So also for an organization like Philips in the B2B space, as well as in the B2C space, sorry, we see that link between higher net promoter scores than your competitor does and higher revenues in those areas.
Interesting. So it does work for Philips. So
absolutely.
Because I remember one article title that Reichel, the founder of NPS, wrote is that the one number you need to grow, and that is the NPS grow, which is basically linked directly to revenue growth.
For us, we not only want to grow our NPS number, we want to make sure that our net promoter score is higher than that of competition in the same area. It's good if you improve yourself day over day, but it's more important for us to stay alive, and the only way to stay alive is to beat your competition. And that's the main metric that we are focusing on.
And in the B2B space, I mean, Philips is, of course, has a lot of product for consumers, consumer electronics, but I think on mainly healthcare, it's a B2B, pure B2B product. How do you see the difference between measuring the NPS within consumer products and B2B products?
Yeah, two of our three sectors are focusing on B2B, that's lighting and healthcare indeed, a little bit also in the consumer lifestyle area. We see that the main touch point in the B2B space is the relationship between your account manager and your customers, your accounts. And in fact, it's exactly at that touch point that we put the highest emphasis on measuring the relationship value, on measuring the net promoter score at that area, and on making sure that we have a closed loop system in place there to improve if we need, or to leverage if we are already doing a fantastic job.
Okay, and this takes us to the title of your presentation during the B2B Marketing Forum. Can you give like a very brief summary of people that would like to know more about what you're going to talk about?
Okay, so when we do an NPS survey, we see where we have our promoters, our passives and our detractors. I'm very happy to say that we have much more promoters than we do detractors, so we are performing well, our brand is doing well. There's always reasons and ways of doing better. My presentation is focusing on what do we do at the moment that we have found promoters. Every company that is the age that we are, more than 100 years, are always focusing on making things better, on improving stuff that is broken, on fixing issues. In NPS terms, that means we focus on detractors. What we need to do at the moment that we have more promoters is to also make sure that you keep your promoters and that you use their power in the word of mouth as well as in the word of mouse in the online world, that we use their power to attract new customers, to attract new promoters in fact, to show the world what you are doing well. So in fact we are using their marketing capabilities of attracting new customers. And that's the main theme of my presentation that I'm going to bring.
So turning those promoters into your customer references program.
Yeah, and having them as advocates of our brands, of our relationship, of our products and services.
Okay. Looking forward to seeing you presenting this. Thank you very much, Arne.